You know what? After that, my mind goes blank. There's so many of them out there. But the one that we feature pretty much every night, the live stream is on YouTube. So if you're checking out the show from YouTube, please hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. And this number on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case YouTube decide to cancel my contract, you'll know how to reach me. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean when I say that. So first things first, let me know that you can hear me. And I see that my man Dallas said, I can hear you. That's what I'm talking about. That means if he can hear me, everybody else can hear me. So I got to get busy. I got to get loose because I got to drop some bombs tonight, y'all. He dropped the bomb on me. Like real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some G's in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. So, guys, before we get into the show, don't forget I got a corner store that has all types of products and merch that you can get to support the channel. And also, I have links below my videos, which is a PayPal and a Cash App that you can go ahead and click on just in case you just feeling froggy and just say, you know what, my income tax came in and I want to be a blessing. Drop as much money in there as you can. You know what? I won't say nothing. I won't blame you. I won't blame you. Yeah, I won't be modest though. I forget that. Oh, no, that's okay. I'll be like, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, so definitely anything you can do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Besides that, don't forget to subscribe to my alternative channel at some point if you haven't done it already. Now, with that being said, y'all saw the title. Creepy sleepy bombs on CNN, but Trump drops the bomb on Fat Albert's case. So we're going to get into that tonight, but we're going to start off with keeping up with the creep show, y'all. Keeping up with the creep show. And it ain't looking good, y'all. It's pretty scary. The creep show is pretty scary. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. So now, the overall thing is that our democracy is in danger. But by who? See, it's true. Both sides believe that. One side really don't believe it. They're just using that. The other side really believes it. But the bubbleheads on the other side, meaning the citizens, might just buy into this narrative that our democracy is in jeopardy. But really, it means the Democrats are in jeopardy. See, that's what that means. You know, so you can go ahead and just switch the word democracy and just put Democrats are in jeopardy. But some of their believers, some of their voters might buy into it and think that our democracy is in danger. So we're going to have to throughout the show tonight, we're going to have to prove and show, well, is it really in danger? And if it is, by who? So let's get into it. Starting off with the creep show. Look at that. Now that shows me that we're in danger already. The fact that we got this dude up there, shuffling through a salad, can't even seem to get through the salad. Now the salad usually is one of the easiest things you can eat, but Creepy Sleepy is fondling the salad right there. Let's see what he does. Okay, he's going for some bread. It's like watching a rare creature. He's going for some bread.
That was Joe Biden struggling to feed himself at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The footage of the president struggling to break apart his bread roll and eat his salad, seemingly in slow motion, has people fearing the worst.
Now, come on. You telling me what, the bread's been left out? Is it stale? Good grief. I know back in the day, my mom and them sometimes get caught slipping, leave a couple rolls laying around. Yeah, you get to them and they feel like bricks. Yeah, you sit back, let's take these outside and use them for snowballs. Yeah, but you're at some fancy joint, I'm sure. That bread is soft and tender. If I was a chef, I'd be offended. I'd be like, I cannot believe he cannot tear the bread. The bread is supposed to just break apart in your hand, but he cannot even break it apart. I would be upset. So there's Joe struggling to break the bread.
Newsmax host Eric Bolling slammed the president after seeing the footage.
How many rips does it take? He took the bread into his hand. Take and eat. So Creepy took about a good 15, 20, 30 seconds to rip a piece of bread in half. Yeah, that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
This man is not suited for the job.
No,
I congratulate the Presidential Freedom Medal recipients and now and their families. She's not only the only person receiving this medal. She is a
oh God. Oh boy. Yeah. Now see, we ain't even got into his bad policies and all of the other dirty stuff that's coming out of the Dems. I'm just talking about our democracy, our whole way of life. Our country is in danger because of that guy right there. If I see this dude up there talking about, and who am I talking to again? Or what? Wait, is it? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change the subject. I would be thinking to myself, this is our time, guys. Right now, we got us a real leader waiting in the wings to go ahead and take the reins. You know what I'm saying? But we got this guy up there. Now, if I'm the enemy, I'm saying we better hurry up. Better make it quick. Make it stick while Creepy is on the wheels of steel. Can't even remember who he's talking to or what he's talking about.
It's not the reason she's getting it, just because she's Delaware, although I keep looking at it.
Yeah, just switch that up. Yeah, get off the hook of not being able to finish either the teleprompter or your thought. One of the two went wrong. One of the two. Could have been both.
And on and off the screen, Michelle Yeoh, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, those two words do look similar. Michelle Yeoh. Okay, so here we go.
Has shattered stereotypes and glass ceilings to enrich and enhance American culture. Her roles transcend gender, cultures, and land.
See, there it is. When you are in pander mode, baby, words will get blended in. Transgender gender. See, supposed to be transcend, but they got transgender on the mind. Transgender gender. See, that's what happens when you're in pander mode / my brain doesn't work mode.
Cultures and languages. From martial arts.
Let me go back to that transgender.
It's not the reason she's getting it, just because she's Delaware, although I keep looking at it.
Give it to us, Joe. Another new word.
The screen, Michelle Yeoh, excuse me, has shattered stereotypes and glass ceilings to enrich and enhance American culture.
Okay.
Her roles transcend gender, culture.
Transcend gender. There you go. That's our leader. Here we go.
And languages. From martial arts to romantic comedies to science fiction, to show us what we all have in common. As the first Asian actor to win an Oscar as Best Actress, she bridges cultures not only to entertain, but also inspire and open hearts, and that's what she keeps doing. Congratulations.
I'm surprised he didn't go whew after that. Because he spent everything he had just getting through that. I'm surprised he didn't be like, whew, I got to take a knee. I'm surprised he didn't sit there, put the hands on top of the head to breathe like he just got done running 100-yard dashes. He took everything out of him just to get through that. Transgender gender and
News All-Star Gabriella Power revealed a report by the Daily Caller, which said Joe Biden has made at least 148 gaffes and public blunders since the start of the year.
And that's just this year? We ain't even got finished with the year yet. He's up there pretty much where he's at when it comes down to that border. He's breaking records all across the board. Yeah, bringing a whole heap of folks in 3.5 years. We're looking at maybe 12 to 14 million perhaps. Yeah. And then the man is crushing it. He is crushing it when it comes down to gaffes. Now I'm wondering, why aren't the fake news keeping track of these gaffes? That's what I want to know. Remember, guys, a couple months back when it came out that Creepy Sleepy wasn't in mental shape enough to stand trial, the media came out and tried to compensate by saying Trump makes gaffes too. I think they brought up an example of maybe 2 or 3, something like that. See, if Trump was really bad, if he was the same level as Joe, then they wouldn't have to go ahead and come up with 3. They would have a whole bunch of them like we do. See, so they're not keeping track of Creepy Sleepy's gaffes. You got to be kidding me. But one thing they do try to keep track of is the made up lies about Trump. See, when he says something, they say it's a lie. That's the funny part about it. So they're keeping track of their own lies that they're saying Trump is telling. There it is. So really, they're like, all right, how many times do we lie on Trump? I mean, how many times do we say he lied? Yeah, we got that. Where's Brian Stelter when we need him? Let's continue.
You talk about the economy. Of course, it is by far the most important issue for voters.
Oh, here it is. Oh, man. So now Creepy, he's been getting a lot of pressure when it comes down to, look, man, you need to get your nasty, creepy butt out there. Okay, I know you brain dead. I know that. But we need to see you out there to try to address the fact that all of these Americans feel like the economy is, thank you, shite. And the Democrats, their solution is to get up there and say, it ain't shite. Yeah, just get up there. Yes, the one dude from North Carolina. The Biden administration, after they just listed all of the bad reports, the statistics, all of that stuff, he just came out like, no, that's not true. Same thing with the rest of them. They come out and they just say it's not true. Don't care what your eyes see. Don't care what your pockets feel. None of that. It's not true. So he goes on to clean this up, and I think he got an unwanted surprise from this lady who, first of all, starts off by giving him the polls. And not only the polls, but the numbers. See, all of these percentages and stuff. So what is Joe going to do? Lie.
It's also true right now, Mr. President, that voters by a wide margin trust Trump more on the economy. Oh. They say that in polls. And part of the reason for that may be the numbers. Yeah. And you're aware of many of these, of course. The cost of buying a home in the United States is double what it was when you look at your monthly costs from before the pandemic.
Yeah, there you go. But he ain't got to worry about that. See, he lives in the White House for free. Not
Real
for free.
Income,
it's on us.
When you account for inflation, is actually down since you...
Now look at him. That man looks like he's constipated and taking a poop at the same time. That man looks like he's jammed up and got diarrhea at the same time. I'm constipated, but I'm pooping on myself. Unreal. Look like he's about to be in a full car crash. Like that last minute look before you hit a train. That's what he looks like. Oh my God. So now let's see how he handles this right here. I don't know what that tight constipation / diarrhea look he got going on there, but let's see how he handles it.
Took office. Economic growth last week far short of expectations. Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise, is near a 2-year low. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day, are you worried that you're running out of time to turn that around?
We've already turned it around. Look at the...
Oh my God. So basically, if he is shiting on himself, he just reached down the back of his pants and pulled some of that shite out and threw it at us. We already turned it around. Boy, man, this is fascinating. I mean, it ain't like he's on Fox News. This woman, she ain't making them numbers up. She just read them all off to him and said, 6 months left. You think you can turn around? We already turned it around. I mean, how can you even justify that? Look straight in the camera like, man, I'm going for it. You know, hopefully this is going to be one of the greatest gaslight maneuvers ever.
The Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. They think
yeah, but in Michigan, they're all saying there's 15 points for Trump. They're all like, yeah, we're going with Trump. But yet 60% of them say they're better off today.
The nation's not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape. Mm-hmm. The polling data has been wrong all along.
All along?
How many, you guys do a poll with CNN, how many folks you have to call to get one response?
Yeah, there it is. So whenever those poll numbers don't look good, then it's all wrong. It's all wrong. But I'm wondering if those percentages and numbers that she just gave about the economy, I wonder if that's all wrong. See, that's what I'm not understanding. So there's a correlation between those numbers she just ripped off and the polls. The people are responding to those numbers. But Creepy said we turned it around and the polls are wrong, which by default would mean those numbers are wrong. You wouldn't have people saying that Trump would be better off running the economy if those numbers didn't look like they did. I mean, people would be going, yeah, man, it's great. Why would we change up something that is working and that is good. That's what they would be saying. And the only reason they changed up something with Trump, well, really, they didn't change up anything. We're going to find out what really took place, which we all knew when it came down to that last election. You know what I'm saying? Because we still had enough common sense people to say, dude, we don't want to mess up a good thing. I mean, things are going well in spite of all of the attacks from the left, the folks whining, screaming, protesting, all of that stupid stuff. We still voted the right way with Trump, as we're about to find out. Because remember, guys, our democracy is at risk.
The idea that we're in a situation where things are so bad. The folk that, I mean, we've created more jobs. We're in a situation where...
For illegal immigrants? You created more jobs for illegal immigrants and then brought back jobs that you destroyed with your policies. How about that, creepy? So even though she came out and threw these things out there to him and got him a little rattled, she still ain't giving it to him like she would be if it was Trump. If Trump had these same numbers and same record, she would have stopped him off grip. How do you mean when you say that we turn things around, Mr. President? What do you mean by that? I mean, look, the numbers are right here. I can't believe you. See, I need to interview Creepy. And watch this dude explode right in front of me when I asked him some tough questions. So here he is out there just saying stuff. And she just kind of, letting him rip it all off. And I'm saying, wait a minute, man. We just saw a couple weeks ago, the majority of those jobs y'all were bragging about, a lot of them went to illegal immigrants. There you go. And then many of them were brought back because of your horrible policies. Let's continue hearing this guy fudge all this stuff.
People have access to good paying jobs.
We do.
And the last I saw, the combination of the inflation, the cost of inflation, all those things, that's really worrisome to people with good reason. That's why I'm working very hard to bring the cost of rentals down, to increase the number of homes that are available. But let me say it this way. When I started this administration, people were saying there's going to be a collapse in the economy. We have the strongest economy in the world.
Well, of course we got the strongest economy in the world because Trump built that mug up so great that even with your bad policies, we're still number one at this point. But trust me, you're working real hard, Creepy, to destroy it. You're working overtime to make sure that we fall below number one. And I feel China right on our heels. I'm not comfortable with that. If I'm running a 400-yard dash and I hear the Chinese right behind me, they're waiting. They're waiting for that last leg now I got to sit back and lose my form, try to fight them off. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be running with the Chinese, the Japanese, Russia, all these other countries right on I want a nice lead. Yep. I want people just going, oh, well, it's obvious Kev is going to win again. It's that. I don't want to be sitting there trying to, all right, push them off. But that's what we're doing. And this guy's helping these countries catch up with us with his horrible policies.
Let me say it again, in the world.
So GDP last week was far short of expectations.
Oh, was it?
Oh, once again, a smack with a fact. Oh, he got smacked with a fact. Is that a fact? Did I get smacked by? Okay, let's see how he responds to that fact smack.
Oh, GDP is still growing. Look at the response of the markets. Overwhelmingly positive.
Trinidad.
And one of the reasons why people feel good about it.
Whoa, wait. Did he just say overwhelmingly positive? Just because he said so? Who is Joe talking to, y'all? That's my question. There's overwhelmingly positive.
GDP is still growing. Look at the response of the markets. Overwhelmingly positive. And one of the reasons why people feel good about it, not being as strong as it was before, is they believe that the Fed's going to respond.
They hope they're going to get a rate cut.
Yeah. Well, but I mean...
No pushback? Now, she's trying to even insist him a little bit. They think they got to get a rate cut. All that stuff. No. The reason why the Fed, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that the GDP is lower. I mean, lower rather. See, it's a good thing. See, these are the folks that come out there and hit you with the vampire from Brooklyn. Evil is good. Because if you didn't know evil, then you wouldn't know good. Therefore, evil is good. That comes from the Democrats.
No president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9%.
No president had the run you had in terms of bringing down the whole country. And I'm talking about bring it down like lawn the bridges, man. Unreal. I mean, the self-awareness, but see, I can't, he's not aware of what he's doing. This dude don't know how horrible the country is. I mean, he's struggling right now just to get through that interview, I'm sure. So let's go ahead and finish this so we can get to Trump and see what's going on with our democracy.
When I came to office, 9%, but look.
9%? What did he just say?
People have a right to be concerned.
What was 9%?
People have a right to be concerned.
Is that a lie? Hold on.
Inflation was 9% when I came.
That's a full-blown lie. She need to smack him with a fact again. Somebody go get the fact smack. I think it was like 2% or something like that. Now that man just ripped that off. Where is fake crapper? Right now, remember last night during my show? They fact-checked Trump real time about George Soros? What the president's made a statement. Let's go ahead and bring in our fact checker and see just how factual that statement was. Where's the fact checker right there? It shouldn't have. Yeah, they ain't going fake crapper. Should have just came right in. We're going to interrupt the president right there because we have a reputation. We can't sit back and let people on our network just lie like this. We're going to fact check them. Nothing? Nope. So he's just going to say it was 9%, and the lady just
in office. 9%, but look, people have a right to be concerned.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Ordinary people, the idea that you bounce a check and you get a $30 fee for bouncing the check, I change that. You can't charge more than $8 for that. Or your credit card, your late payment, $35. I mean, there's corporate greed going on out there.
There it is. Misplace that blame. There you go. Oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault. Did Joe do that? It's never Joe's fault. So, yeah, it's corporate greed. Unlike political greed, politician greed. 10% for the big guy. Stuff like that. Let's continue.
And it's got to be dealt with.
What about, but there's real pain. Grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30%.
It's all in your mind. It's not true.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, and people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years.
30 years? How are you going to overcome that obstacle right there, creepy? She's slapping you with more facts. Let's see what he has to say.
It's a real day-to-day pain that people
feel. It really is.
Oh, y'all hear the new word? Y'all hear that word he breaks out every once in a while? That's a word. There it is. So, wait.
And it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend.
What did he just say? First of all, he came out and said, it's real. To be real, it's got to be real. And then right after that said, stop whining, you got the money. Can you believe the arrogance of this guy? Yeah, there you go. Now that right there, I got to give it to him. He went for it. He was like, you know what? You got me there. Stuff is higher. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and just say people got more money to pay for the higher stuff. Now, I don't know about you. I don't care how much money I have. I'm not one of those people that just want to pay more just because I have more money. Even if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't do some of the stupid stuff I see some people do. I'll never forget when years ago when I was in Cincinnati, we would interact with the freshman class in the NFL, trying to talk to these young men about how to come into the NFL and protect your brand. How to come in, prepare for the future, make sure you don't come in and create all kind of negativity around you and just ruin your brand. How to live basically on and off the field, because a lot of the young boys, they go straight into the NFL. You go from being completely broke to rich at like 21. That's a lot. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't know if I could have handled it at 21. Yeah, and one dude, soon as he signed, he went out and bought him a $6,000 attache, basically a briefcase. And I'm like, you paid $6,000 for a briefcase. You do realize you could have paid $600 for a briefcase, and because you're in the NFL, everyone would have thought that your briefcase was worth $6,000. I don't understand that. Just because I have it, I wouldn't be like, I want to pay more. I feel comfortable with that. No, that's not how things work, creepy. Yeah, the goal is to pay less so you can save or have more money for later. But here he is. That's his solution. Calm down, everybody. Stop whining about it when you go to the pump and you got to concentrate on the numbers going up. You're sitting there doing the math. You're watching those numbers like, okay, all right, can I stop it exactly at 30? Because I can't even go 30.1. Yeah, so stop whining about it. You can pay it. That's the solution.
It angers them and angers me that you have to spend more.
No, it angers me that you would try to give that excuse and try to belittle our intelligence and say, stop whining. Y'all got more money. And I'm going, we do? And last I checked, I don't feel that way. I feel like I have less money, Joe.
For example, the whole idea of this notion that Senator Casey talked about, shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation, what is that?
I think it's on your
Same
program.
price for a small.
Here it is. That's what he's going to. Some misplaced blame, some stupid concept is about to come to try to account for all of these jacked up prices. So let me get this straight, Joe. Economy's great. There's no inflation. Just out of nowhere, these companies decided we're not going to raise our prices because of the market and, the inflation, the GDP. We're not going to raise our prices because of that. We're going to do it even though things are great and we could sell our products at a reasonable amount. We're going to jack them up. We're going to jack the prices up, not to compensate for a bad economy, not to compensate for inflation and bad policies on Joe's behalf. Nah, we're doing it because we can get away with it. I mean, now, why didn't that happen under Trump? When Trump came in, hit the tax cuts and all that stuff, and, business was booming, gas was low, products were low, GDP was high. All of this stuff was great. They didn't do this under Trump. So when Biden comes in and things change, well, now he's blaming it on them. They're jacking up the prices because it's corporate greed. And y'all, they're starting to cut back on the amount that they give you. There you go. So now I got to go ahead and take out a measuring stick and stick it down my gas tank. Because who knows? I might pump $100 in my man truck and thinking, all right, I'm paying $3.50 per gallon. So I'm hoping that I get a full 30 gallons of gas. But who knows? Who knows? They could be robbing me. It might be 29.5 gallons. And now I got to stick something down there to find out, oh, they beat me for it. When you go ahead and open up your Big Mac, don't forget to weigh it. Don't forget to weigh your Big Mac and make sure they're not beating you on the lettuce, something like that. That's what he's saying is going on in the economy, and that's what we should be focused on. That's what we should be focused on.
Bottle of juice or something.
For example,
Look at her.
Snickers bar, they did a thing. And it's like
It's the Snickers bar. I'm so sick of him using that. At the Snickers bar, they did a thing. We see him on the campaign trail, and that's his pitch, y'all. Yeah, I'm working hard on the American people's behalf to make sure you get a full Snickers bar, man. You understand? When you crack open those Lay's potato chips, I want to make sure you get every Lay's chip in that bag that you're supposed to get. And I'm personally going to be counting them, right, Joe? Personally going to be weighing them. I'm going to regulate the companies to make sure they weigh them each one. So stupid. And if people are falling for that crap, then you deserve Joe Biden.
The same price. That's corporate greed.
Yeah.
It's corporate greed.
Corporate greed.
You've got to deal with it. And that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, right. So there it is, guys. Oh, it ain't Joe's fault. It ain't Joe's fault. And now we're looking at the election coming up and democracy. Democracy is not the economy. It's democracy. Democracy is on the ballot. It's not the border. It's not, inflation. It's not all of that. It's not, the whole country in regards to what's going on the globe and all the dangerous stuff that's taking place overseas. It's not that none of that stuff is on the ballot. It's our democracy. And somebody's responsible for threatening our democracy. Now, it's either going to be from the outside, okay, meaning Russia, China, whoever, which I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them for the most part right now. But if he stays in office, then yes, I would be worried about them. And the other option is it's coming from the inside. So we're going to get to the bottom of who's the bigger threat to democracy. Remember this, guys?
We kept the faith. We preserved democracy. We placed a dagger at the throat of our democracy. Equality and democracy to stop the assault on American democracy. That will secure our democracy. We are still, at our core, a democracy. And that democracy must be defended. And may God protect all those who stand watch over our democracy.
Yeah. Wait, one more.
Democracy.
There you go. Thank you. Even though we're a republic. But I get it when they're talking about democracy. Okay, so now the fear-mongering has taken place. That's the strategy that the Democrats are using in regards to trying to frighten people to go out to the polls and vote to save our democracy. Okay, and of course the blame is being thrown at this man. The man who's coming out of court right now. This should be out there on the campaign trail. Campaigning against the guy we just saw talking about some transgender, and that guy. Yeah, the guy that we just saw talking about the Snickers bars and stuff. He should be out there campaigning, but what is he doing? He is coming out of court because of that same guy talking about democracy. That same guy's DOJ. And all of these raggedy behind DAs and the FBI and all of that under his leadership right now is attacking his political opponent. So let's see what Trump has to say about democracy.
Just want to let you know that we've just filed a major motion in the appellate division concerning the absolutely unconstitutional gag order.
But that's democracy, right? Yeah, democracy means let's gag the defendant. Yeah, let's use our political power. Let's get a nasty, stinking, corrupt judge to silence the defendant while letting all of the witnesses bash the defendant. And yet Joe Biden, democracy is on the ballot. And they wonder why folks are gravitating towards Trump, because folks can see the real threat to democracy. The man on trial, I'm saying that looks like a threat to democracy. He's running for president, but yet he's on trial. And thank God the other 3 trials seem like they're not going to go through.
Where I'm essentially not allowed to talk to you about anything meaningful that's going on in the case, and many good things are going on with the case. It shouldn't have been filed.
Yeah, Trump, that happens in every every democracy. Democracy! You didn't know that? You didn't know that? Presidential candidates, yeah, they all get silenced in a democracy by their political opponents, DOJ.
They had this morning the top legal scholars in the country. This is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony and zapped it back into life. So many of us are just amazed to watch this actually walk into court, because it's not a recognizable crime that any of us have seen as Jonathan Turley.
Oh my. So now here comes the Dawn dropping the bomb on Fat Albert's case. All he's doing is reading real political pundits' reviews. Real folks that, you can respect and say, this guy, he's a legal scholar and he's legit. So now I'm wondering how this raggedy behind judge feels after hearing all of these real legal scholars assess what he's allowing to take place in his courtroom. Now, I don't know what benefit he's getting. Maybe it could be from his daughter. Maybe it's like, all right, honey, this is my last gig. I'm going to go out real bad in front of my peers. Everybody's going to be going, that dude sold out. He straight is corrupt. That is not how you run a courtroom. But it's okay, because after you raise millions and millions of dollars from the Democrats, which pretty much you can believe they shopped around to find his corrupt butt. Yeah, maybe, hun, you could split that cash with me and I can retire. And don't have to worry about being embarrassed as I move forward with my career. Nobody ever that is legit will respect this judge after this. Nobody. So now, I'm sure the judge, if he had the force, would choke Trump right now. Because Trump is coming out using democracy to go ahead and read what real scholars are saying about this trial.
I've been doing this for 60 years and I don't understand what crime he's been charged with. Nobody understands.
What? Somebody, my screen over here is not showing your notes. I mean your messages. But somebody said she raised $90 million. That's a great gig. Just come out and say Trump's evil and we need money. Okay, from all the bubbleheads. Who are these people? Who are these folks giving money to these folks? It's unreal, man. But anyway, now he's saying Jonathan Twirly said, we still don't even know what this is about. Wait a minute. How long have we been doing this? 2 weeks? We still haven't gotten to the nitty gritty. I'm starting to believe this is not about democracy. I'm starting to believe this is not about justice. I'm starting to think we're living in a banana republic and our democracy could be in danger from the folks on the left.
I just don't get the crime. There's no evidence of any crime whatsoever. This is a sham. That's Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dersh? He's a Democrat. So I can't understand why nobody can find the crime. Why can't we find the crime? Somebody take some time to go find the crime. I'm still looking. Okay. We're in pursuit of the wily and elusive crime. Right now, we can't find any crime. Crikey. I can't find no crime, man. Hurry up, get to the good stuff. It's like watching a movie and, it hasn't hit the climax. You sitting there, I've been watching this movie for 8 hours. When is something's going to happen? What is the theme again about this movie? That it's just a series of events. That's it. So now we're just going through daily trials. And nobody even said what the crime is. Why are you here? Don't worry, we'll get to that after we get finished dragging us out and keeping you off the campaign trail. That's what they should be saying.
And these are people they speak their minds. They're not for me, they're for justice. This is another one. This is without precedent in American history, only with the desperation of President Joe Biden and his fanatic left-wing forces that have become possible to think about arresting and jailing their major political opponent. This case must be taken out of Judge Merchan's hands because he's totally conflicted. Yeah, where's Judge Merch? Totally conflicted. Does he hear what everybody's saying about how he's conducting his courtroom? Real political commentators, professionals. I wonder if he listens to that and say, God, how I didn't know they was going to pimp me out like this. Man, what's more important? My reputation and integrity or stopping Donald Trump? What is the incentive this guy has, man? I just don't get it. I mean, I was listening to somebody on the Benny show and she was talking about, it was a lawyer. We're going to hear from her in a second. Lawyer that works for Trump. And she was saying that to get these cases brought, they have to go out and find raggedy behind Soros-backed politicians, judges, prosecutors. You can't find the good ones. You can't go and drag a real prosecutor in to say, look, man, I value my reputation here. I don't want to be known as a corrupt, nasty, stinking, prosecutor for hire. Basically a hitman, a mercenary. I don't want to be known as that. Or, a judge who don't want to be known as somebody who is political. You can't find legitimate ones to take this. That's why if Fani Willis, Fat Fanny's case falls through, good luck finding somebody else. Yeah, you go and find a Fat Fanny because she's dirty and stinking and low enough to go ahead and do something like this, but you get the quality of a Fat Fanny. Same thing with all the rest of them. Bragg, low budget. So now you got to go out and get a low budget prosecutor, raggedy judges like Algaron and all of them to do stuff like this. The other ones are sitting back looking like, ew. I might not say nothing, but I'm shaking my head like, ew, y'all are foul. Anyway, so let's continue though, because Trump is digging into him. He's dropping a bomb on Fat Albert. Judge Merchant is totally conflicted, like probably no judge has ever been conflicted before. Here's another one, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. His prosecution of former President Donald Trump violates both the federal and state constitutions. This is a prosecutor making it up as he goes along. Due process worthy of the names does not tolerate that.
Wow. A prosecutor making it up as he goes along. And that sounds like what we're seeing. Okay, wait. I got something else to bring out, Judge. Will you allow it? Absolutely, Fat Albert. That's why you brought me in. Whatever you want. Okay, let's see. Is anybody in the back that we could bring out? No? All right, somebody go get them. I think the maintenance man. Let's grab him. Bring him in. All right, this guy right here is the maintenance man. He wants to weigh in on Trump's, all of his atrocities as a black maintenance man. How do you feel being black and maintenance man? You ever thought about any type of career advancement, but you were hindered by the white nationalist Donald Trump? Have you ever met Donald Trump? No? Oh, I shouldn't ask you that question. No more questions. Thank you. What else can we do? They are dragging this mess out. He is straight winging it. So this is the response from real legitimate, political, commentators and, professionals.
So these are statements. This is Andrew McCarthy made that statement. Highly respected. The judge is allowing wide scope of information that has absolutely nothing to do with the case. That's Rebecca Rosewood of Fox News. Today we have Rick Scott here, Senator Rick Scott. We have other politicians here. We have many people in support. The outside of this building is closed down like Fort Knox. Nobody's ever seen. We have so many police down here, New York's finest, and they are New York's finest. They're just told what to do, but they don't have them at Columbia. They don't have them at NYU or any other places. This is like an armed camp down here.
So what you're saying, Trump, is instead of being productive and focusing on real stuff, they're taking up tax dollars and resources with a fake bootleg prosecution that they're winging it every day. Just making stuff up as they go. So, oh, man. Okay, let's see here. All right. It looks like I might have to delete some RAM or something. That's what I get for downloading all these clips. But yeah, so yeah, it looks like they're just making this crap up as they go. Winging it. All right, we're going to talk about Trump eating hamburgers. What? How does that apply to it's relevant, trust me. I'll allow it. That's what the judge is doing. Allowing all kind of stupid stuff. And now you got all these resources being taken up over this stupid stuff.
And you have nothing to worry about. Believe me, your problem is from the left, it's not from the right. Your problem from the left is from within our country. That's in my opinion, a bigger danger than China or Russia. You have it from the outside and you have it from within. From within is a bigger danger to our country, and it's from the left, not from the right.
Thank you. About time somebody dropped that bomb. All of this garbage we hear on the TV and on the fake news that Trump's a threat to democracy. Joe Biden, democracy. It's not coming from us. We all see the real threat to democracy as they're out there projecting all of this garbage. And I'm glad Trump went ahead and called it out. All the violence, all of the rhetoric, all of the hate, all of the real racism of low expectations. And honestly, it's not even racism, but these folks, it's not like they got low expectations of blacks. They just use us. It's one of those that we're going to jump on the backs of blacks. So we can sit back and say, well, you know what? The black kids don't know what a computer is. Therefore, pass my legislation. And black people don't know how to get voter IDs. Therefore, allow us to not have voter IDs. Yeah, black people can't do stuff. That's what they do. So all of this crap is coming from the left.
But Rick Scott's here and he said you can't go after political persecutions. This is a shame. This should not be happening in our country. And Senator Ted Cruz put out a very strong statement about attacking Donald Trump and the American voter. It's an attack on both. This is purely and simply election interference. There is no case.
No case.
So that's the way it is. But here we sit after 2.5 weeks. And I think you'll see some very revealing things today. And I want to thank my lawyers. They've done a very good job. But I'd rather thank them after it's over as opposed to now, because we don't want them to get carried away.
Nah.
There's no case. Should have never been brought. Alvin Bragg didn't want to bring it. Cy Vance didn't want to bring it, and he didn't. He left. He didn't bring it. Everybody's looked at it. Southern District didn't bring it. Federal elections didn't bring it.
And I wonder why Fat Albert decided to bring it. And I wonder why this raggedy behind judge, knowing that in all of these other folks, agencies and stuff didn't bring the case, but he decided, you know what, I'll hear it. I'm not going to take any of that in consideration. I think it's legitimate enough for me to hear it. Now, that tells you a lot about that judge. The fact that he's overlooking all of that information and decided that this case seems serious enough for me to hear.
It's also a federal case, not a state case.
Oh, that too?
Not allowed to do, but these are minor details.
So
I just want to thank you for being here, and we'll see you later in the afternoon. Thank you.
Take that, Fat Albert, on your way out. So now, guys, look at this. They cry, our democracy is in danger. Remember Louise Jefferson yesterday / Mad Max? Let's hear it from her and this guy right here on this network. Watch this.
Trump told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, quote, if everything's honest, I'd gladly accept the results. If it's not, you have to fight for the right of the country.
Now, wait a minute. First of all, he needs some bass in the voice. He needs some bass in the voice. Come on. Some bass in the voice. Bass in the voice. Come on. That man needs bass in that voice. So no bass in the middle. No bass in the middle. So the guy with no bass in the middle. Trump said the other day that he will concede if everything seems legit. Now notice this paid actor's facial expression when he says that. Yeah, I want y'all to see the face.
Trump told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, quote, if everything's honest, I'd gladly accept the results. If it's not, you have to fight for the right of the country.
Now look at that face. Like he is concerned, confused by that statement. You have to fight for the rights of the country? Like, that sounds crazy. I can't believe he would say that. Now, you already know what he's there for. He's out there for the hit piece. And the fact that he got these two right next to him already knows what's about to happen. So now he acts as if he's a little confused about that statement. So what's confusing about that? He said if everything looks legitimate, then he will accept it. You're not going to get to goat him into saying, I don't care how raggedy this election look, how obvious corruption might be, out there and all of this. Forget all of that. I'll just accept it regardless. You're not going to get him to say that, but that's what they want him to do. And they know he's not going to do that. So therefore, they're going to use this narrative that he's going to go ahead and reject the election results if he loses. And our democracy is at risk.
Country. Why should we take this threat seriously?
Oh God, here we go.
Because we know that Trump believes this in his heart.
Now notice this. Why should we take this threat seriously? I mean, that first of all, what makes you think it's a threat? He said, look, man, first of all, if everything's legit, yeah, of course I would accept it. But there is a possibility of violence taking place if something crazy goes wrong. But it won't be coming from us though. See, that's the funny part about this. They're all missing. If Trump wins, you already know. All of those radical folks out there talking about free Palestine will say, all right, guys, we got a new assignment as a professional protester. Right now, it is Project Black Lives Matter / Project Antifa again. Go get your other uni. That's what will take place. Yeah, so I don't know what this guy is trying to hint at and imply. See, once again, they're going ahead insinuating that Trump is saying, basically, if I don't win, ain't nobody going to win. I will unleash all of my white nationalists, on all of society. Let's see.
He's got an army of MAGA extreme far-right folks in the Congress and across the country.
What the heck?
And he has a derangement about hurting people, hurting democracy, sending a mob in to attack a Capitol to overthrow our government.
Wow. Y'all bring in folks who go a little too heavy on the hyperbole. All right, so you'll get the guy with the Mexican flag, I guess, in the background. All right, so he's supposed to be legit. He's appealing to all of the minorities, I guess, and the Latino vote. And I guess Dango and Mad Max, she's for the blacks. She's for the blacks. All right, we got to bring out people to make sure, since we're losing blacks and Latinos. So now all of a sudden, this guy's talking about all of these radical right-wing folks are out there just waiting, man. We sitting there, with the telephone. All right, come on. I'm just waiting on Trump to call. Hello? Yes. This is the MAGA phone. Yeah, it's a secure line. Now, put him through. Hello, is this Kevin? Yes, it is. All right, are we ready? Okay, thank you. Let's do it. We're waiting for that, right? All sitting there waiting by our megaphones that he gave us, like burner phones instead of burner phones, megaphones. And we're all gonna get the call that we didn't get on J6 because I don't know, maybe my megaphone wasn't working. I'm not sure because nobody told me nothing about an insurrection. Nothing. But anyway, here's this guy saying Trump coordinated that he sigged all of those radicals on the Capitol.
Wanting to round up migrants from across the country? And so we absolutely...
Oh, no, Ricky Martin. No. Don't be up here talking about some round up migrants across the country. No. See, I don't want you to get away with saying migrants. You left out a key word. Illegal immigrants. That's what they are. So, yes, I applaud that.
We should take him on his word. We saw that he actually executed.
Now, listen to what Ricky just said. He said we should take him for his what? Word. Remember that.
Executed and tried to do horrible things to people across this country in this last term.
Now, Trump tried to do horrible things. Oh, my God. So Trump tried to do horrible things to people across this country. Like what? Because, see, no bass in the voice is not going to ask him that question. No bass in the voice job is to sit there and facilitate a bashing session. That's what it is. So that man just said, Trump tried to do horrible things, on people across this nation.
A lot of folks can say they didn't know or maybe didn't know what to expect from Donald Trump. We can't say that this time. We know what he's going to do, and he must be stopped.
Oh, we know what he's going to do? Yeah, you're right about that. He's going to restore some law and order, hopefully bring back the bad economy that Joe Biden broke, and also put his foot all the way up all of you stinking, nasty, deep state, horrible, dang on globalists, put his foot up their butts, mess up their whole little nest. That's what he's going to do. And this guy, his job is to protect it. His job is to come out and protect the hive. And then you send one of these out. Ugh, look at this.
Congressman Waters, your reaction?
I didn't play this part yesterday, y'all. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have warned y'all. I should have warned y'all about that face that looked like it's lopsided. That face right there that looked like it's candle wax that's melting right about now. Her face is made out of straight up candle wax, and it's too hot for Mad Max. Her face is melting. Her face looked like it's sliding off. So let's go ahead and hear from Mad Max because y'all didn't get this part yesterday. So let's see.
To Trump saying, if everything's honest, everything's above board.
Clear that throat for these lies. Now you hear? No bass? Hey, Trump said, if everything's honest, if everything's above the board, come on, Max, you know what to do.
To his point of view, he'll gladly accept the results of the country, but if not, well...
I detect a little acting, not even sarcasm, but if not, Q, go ahead, Max. Here we go.
First of all, you can't trust anything that Donald Trump has to say.
Wait a minute. We just heard Ricky Martin say we should take him at his word. Did y'all hear that? Ricky Martin just said, man, all this stuff that Trump's saying, we should believe him. Take him at his word. But Mad Max says, you know what? We can't trust anything Donald Trump is. They ain't even thinking. They are on straight up autopilot when it comes down to attacking Trump. They're not worried about contradictions, conflicts, Donald Trump will lie about everything except for attacking American citizens and being a dictator. Those are the only things we can trust. But all the other stuff he says, we can't trust. But yet, no base will not even question her on that.
No matter if he loses, he's going to say that it was fraud. He still has not accepted what happened in the last presidential election. And so we have to be very concerned about a former president of the United States talking about attacking his own country, talking about...
No, what somebody need to do is be concerned about who attacked your face. Who did that to you, Mad Max? Let's go get him. Who did that to your face and your hair? Good grief. Looked like she put a whole rubber mask on right there. I want to see the real Mad Max underneath that. Man, she's tender to the eye. But now, Donald Trump attacked the democracy. And
perhaps a bloodbath.
Oh, God. There it is, man. Now, that's when you know you're on fake news. When you can rip off all of these proven, debunked lies unabatedly. That guy's sitting there going, Now, we all know the bloodbath myth, the hoax. And Mad Max maybe ain't, nobody caught up with her. Same thing with Joe. He's still out on the campaign trail talking about, Donald Trump said that World War One. Did I tell you my uncle was eaten by cannibals? Oh, I was saying something about Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. He called them suckers and the something else he said. He's still out there saying that. Down in Charlottesville, he said both people on side and all of that stuff. And I'm going, either nobody has updated you on that information or y'all just don't care because you're on networks like this where people with no bass in the voice is going to sit back and let you vomit up these lies.
Talking about perhaps there's going to be trouble. He said it in...
Perhaps. Talking about perhaps there's going to be... She ain't even thinking. She is straight on autopilot right now. And then sometimes he farts and out loud and it smells. And let me tell you something. I know how Donald Trump is. And he walks down the street and he lies when he's walking. He lies when he's talking. And it just straight got the motor mouth going because she ain't worried about nobody said, wait a minute, back up. What did you just say? She ain't even worried about it. She's like, man, I can step on the gas full speed because there's no obstacles.
So many different ways. We should take him seriously.
Oh, wait. Holy moly. Did she catch that? She opened up saying, Donald Trump, we cannot take anything. He lies. We can't take him seriously and this and that. When he said that, yeah, man, I'll honor, the results if they're legit. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave after my second term. But now all of a sudden she said we should take him seriously when it comes down to the bloodbaths and unleashing violence on all of us. So which is it? Two-Face? Because that's what she looks like she got two faces. One down here, one up there. Let's continue.
This man does not believe in the Constitution. He wants to be a dictator. This is a dangerous human being. And we have to know what our country is going to do to protect us from him.
Well,
yes.
Yeah,
Watch this.
Yes.
Y'all ready? Y'all see no base? You see no base warming up? He's like, I'm about to go ahead and throw you something else, Mad Max. You ready for this one as I compliment you on your lies and stuff?
You can keep going for this whole hour, Congresswoman, on that. But speaking of the Constitution, Trump says in that time interview that he would not seek to overturn or ignore the Constitution's prohibition on a third term.
Now, wait a minute. Trump said, because remember, guys, the word on the street for our democracy being at risk is Trump's not leaving. After his second term, he's standing there, posted up in there like, nah, I ain't going nowhere, man. Come in and get me. Remember? Now, understand, Mad Max opened up saying that you can't believe anything come out of Donald Trump's mouth. Then just a second ago, she just said, and we should take him at his word. Now let's see what she has to say about this as no base. Listen to his tone.
Should the American people believe that? Do you believe that?
Should the American people believe that? Do you believe that? Now, what he's saying is don't believe Trump. That's what he's saying to his audience. Should the American trying to act as if he's just concerned. These are just random thoughts. And they say, should the American people believe that? Do you believe that? Now, here's your opportunity to try to undermine all the stuff that Trump is saying that is contrary to the lies we're telling. See, I mean, it's going to be hard for us to say Trump said he's not leaving. We can't continue to come on every day saying Trump's going to stay in the White House. He's going to take over. He's going to be a dictator. It's hard for us to do that if we got it on record, Trump saying that I won't do it. So now what we got to do is bring on liars like her and no bass in the voice to pretend that we can't believe what Trump is saying, but we should believe what Trump is saying. when it comes down to all the violence and stuff that's going to come because of him and his rhetoric and stuff?
No, absolutely not. As I said,
Did you hear that? No, absolutely not. We shouldn't believe him. Yes, but we should believe him sometimes. Yeah, that's when it's convenient for us. So I want you to believe, but not believe him. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't. That's for sure. I don't know what I'm saying.
And believe anything that Donald Trump has to say.
Man, she is twisted up like a pretzel. We shouldn't believe anything that Donald Trump has to say, except for the fact that he said that it's going to be violence and a bloodbath, and we should take him at his word for that, except for anything that he says. Wait a minute. That don't make sense. Come on, Mad Max. Pull it together. Unreal.
Donald Trump will do any and everything that he can possibly get away with. He does not at all support the Constitution of the United States.
We're finding out who the real threats are to democracy. Everything she's saying, Democrats do. They get away with anything and everything they can. Remember, Joe? Anyway, they do things anyway. And then she got this nerve to say, and he does not believe in the Constitution, as they're trying to pack the courts. And they're trying to do all kind of stuff. Get rid of the filibuster and also throw Trump in jail.
This is a man who we better be careful about.
We know, especially from that Time magazine.
Come on, Ricky. Come on, Ricky Martin. Take us home. Come on, Ricky.
Profile of Trump, it points out that there are 4 separate entities, including the Heritage Foundation's Project 25, that are working behind the scenes to create a government in waiting, complete with Trump loyalists and day one plans to uproot whatever guardrails remain against presidential overreach. Please explain why this isn't hyperbole. This is real.
Now, some people, I like certain people on Fox. I know Fox got its issues. But like, say, Maria Bartimaeus, Jesse, people, they when they're talking about politics, they seem sincere. And what they're addressing is logical, is rational, all that stuff. These folks seem straight up like actors. You already know this is scripted. He came out saying, we got to undermine all of this. Let's attack everything that Trump says. Let's say that this man has all these white nationalists or these radicals in the wings waiting to be unleashed, and we're going to bring 2 people in there to confirm all of these lies that I'm trying to tell and pretend like I'm just asking questions. Hey, that guy's a straight up actor.
This is dangerous. And I think what they are preparing is to destroy our democracy, the way we have elections in this country. And the Congresswoman is absolutely correct. Make no mistake, and let's be crystal clear. If Donald Trump gets reelected, there is no doubt that he will try to stay in office beyond his 4-year term.
Don't you believe them? So now all of a sudden, don't believe anything Donald Trump says unless Donald Trump says that he's not going to do what we said Donald Trump is going to do. Now, does that make sense? When we say Donald Trump is going to do something and he says I'm not going to do it, that's the moment you shouldn't believe him. But everything else, believe him. Unreal, these people. They're so fake. And boy, I wish I was on that network right there. I would take on all 3 of them at once. I'd be like 3 on 1. That's unfair. Go get about 8 more liberals and fake commentators and bring them on here. I want to take on all of yous at once. All of yous, which are lies.
He will destroy this country, our democracy. He'll change the way we run elections. He'll attack secretaries.
Everything he's saying is Democrats. Change how we run elections. He will do.
He's a state, and he'll do everything he can in his power to stay in office. And the country that we know of today, we will no longer have.
Wow. I mean, just listening to this is so real. If we didn't know better, I'm telling you, man, because we know what they're up to, it's fascinating to watch it, man. They are literally describing themselves. Everything this dude is saying, and Mad Max was saying, describes the Democrats. All of the talk about protecting democracy and stuff, and it's in danger. I'm saying Trump was right. He said The threat is coming from within, and it's coming right out of their side right here as this guy sits back and describes the playbook of the Democrats.
It's sobering, it's scary, but we have to take it seriously. This is a person that we have to take at his word. And so we have to do everything that we can between now and the election to strengthen, support our local election officials, ask the Department of Justice to be prepared, and
everything he said, we're saying we need to take precaution. Strengthen our elections. Ask well, we can't ask the Department of Justice to be prepared because, right now they're in the bag for Joe. But hopefully the Republicans will be prepared because these folks are the ones trying to change up all of the elections, the election process. All of that stuff he's describing is Democrats. So we're getting to the bottom of who's the real threat to democracy.
Most importantly, to reelect, of course, President Biden.
Oh, there it is. All of that. And then, guys, they bring Crooked back. All of that and bring Crooked back. Said all of that, and now they're bringing Crooked back. So watch Crooked, because she's coming out to put her 2 cents in of hypocrisy and projection.
A determined demagogue, unfortunately supported by members of his political party, other enablers, people who care more about a future tax cut than the sanctity of the Constitution.
Now you see that Blueberry sitting up there? You see Barney sitting up there lying and describing herself? You see the Joker? She's up there like, wait until they get a load of me. There it is, man. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? The Joker is sitting on here trying to say that Donald Trump's a demigod and all of that stuff. All right, so here we go.
Falling in line behind him, they are trying to excuse some of the most outrageous things that you just recited. And I don't think the press has done enough to basically say, okay, the circus is here. You can watch the circus, but let's tell you what that means. Let's talk to people who have a real understanding of how dictatorships evolve.
Yeah, you gonna tell us? You gonna tell us, oh wise one? Please tell us, Joker. Jokette. So the Jokette is up here trying to tell us that, look, man, y'all don't really understand. Y'all ain't able to recognize a dictatorship and how it evolves. And I'm saying, I think I do. I've been watching one evolve for the last 8 years. Yeah, you guys are showing us a beautiful depiction of how a dictatorship evolves and comes into power. And you're a part of that. You're helping that. Control the media, censor folks, jail your political opponents, go out there, demonize them, throw all these fake labels on them, use identity politics, use Marxist conflict theory, divide the people, destroy the economy, create a, two-tiered system, justice system, make sure you just destroy the middle class so you can control everybody on the bottom, open up our borders, all of these things. She's saying, you need to talk to somebody like us, the Democrats, because we're used to seeing how dictatorships, So let's finish hearing the Jokette, and then we'll go on to something else. Somebody said, I've been watching you.
Let's look at the people that he admires and what they've already done. Back in 2016, we didn't have interviews with him. We didn't have a track record of 4 years in office. There was a lot of speculation. And, I understood that people wouldn't take what I said necessarily as gospel about what I thought could happen.
Yeah, because you're a liar. But not only that, this woman right here is trying to use this as an example. And I'm saying, this isn't a good example to use if you're talking to intelligent people. If you're talking to folks that ain't suffering from TDS. So now you're talking to them. Yeah, I see where she's going with it. She's sitting there trying to tell us, look, see, back in the day, we ain't know what Trump was really about. But now we do. And I'm saying, you're right. That's why his support is growing. We do. See, that's why he's killing Joe Biden, because we're saying, now we got something to compare. See, before it was Trump, he's the horrible, he's rallying this and all that. And now we're going, but Joe is garbage. So for all those even that was suffering from a little TDS, they now have 4 years to look back and say, maybe Trump wasn't that bad. But yet she wants to use this as an example and then won't fill in the blanks. Because I'm sitting there saying, well, you're saying we got all of this this new data, all this, well, now we know what he's about. We got interviews, all this stuff. We got 4-year track record. And I'm saying it was great. I don't see what the problem is. You might not want to bring this example up.
I get that. But now we know. We've seen him and we've heard him.
Yes,
and so we need to do a better job of making it absolutely clear.
Wait a minute. That's it? That's your point? But now we know. We've seen him and we heard him. You're right. We have seen a great economy. We have seen strength on the global stage. We have seen a secure border. We've seen all of that. There you go. And guess what? We've also heard him in his interviews without you guys lying and manipulating what he said. So now you can only get away with that example on networks like MSNBC. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, guys. I told y'all I wasn't going to keep y'all as long tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and get to some of the information that I really want y'all to hear, because, see, right now we've been hearing these folks say our democracy is at risk, and Trump's going to mess up our elections. Yeah, he's messing with the integrity of the elections, all of this stuff, and watch how she dismounts.
As someone who says these things, maybe he wouldn't jail all of his political opponents. One is one too many. Maybe he would.
The one he should have jailed is sitting right here in that purple suit. There you go. The Jokette should have been the first one in prison.
Wouldn't try to force out of business the members of the press who didn't agree with him. One is one too many. We go down the line. And maybe this would be our last election.
Oh, God.
Because someone who will not accept
Here we go.
the validity of an election is someone who doesn't believe in elections. He believes.
Holy moly. Did y'all hear that, Whopper? Did y'all? The level of projection and hypocrisy just went off the radar. Right now, the meters are going crazy. Yeah, the little dial exploded. I don't think I've ever seen that amount of hypocrisy. She just said he's not willing to accept election results. The one who couldn't accept it to the point where you faked a dossier, try to interfere with a free and fair election by deeming your opponent to be a Russian agent, as you presented and provided the Russian dis and misinformation.
He's in his own power, his own right to power, and his demand that he be installed, regardless of whether he gets the votes or not. I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
What's this?
He knows. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And I take responsibility for those parts of it that I should. But Jane, it was like applying for a job and getting 66 million letters of recommendation and losing to a corrupt human tornado. And
boy, this chick is evil. Man, Crooked she's the number one stunner. Man, I mean, she's 100% full-blown demonic, man. Look at that. You can just look straight up sociopath all in her eyes. But I think that might be a requirement, a test, a psychological test to be a Democrat. All right, do you have normal human emotions and feelings? All right, I'm going to show you some pictures. All right, here's a cat that just got ran over. Oh, that's great. Yeah, probably deserved it. Great. See, yeah. I'm scoring her. She likes dead cats ran over. That's good. Okay, we're going to show you some more pictures. Some baby seals that were bashed over the head with clubs. Yeah, what did they do to deserve that? Sometimes you got to bash a seal on the head. Sometimes you got to just bash a seal. Great. Okay with bashing baby seals. Yeah, I think you got to pass that test to become a Democrat. So that woman right there who just said Trump don't want fair and free elections. He hasn't accepted the last results. He's a dictator. And there she is right there. He knows.
So I know that he knows that this wasn't on the level.
Hillary Clinton has been hugely critical of President Donald Trump in interviews over the last week surrounding the release of her 2016 memoir, What Happened. She suggested he is a misogynist. She said repeatedly that she fears for the country with Trump in charge. On Monday, in an interview with NPR's Terry Gross, Clinton raised that critique up a notch. She not only questioned the legitimacy of Trump's presidency.
What? In her memoirs? So she questioned the legitimacy of Trump's presidency. as she just left that very, very friendly network of actors sitting there, Mika and Joe, letting her say that without going, now, wait a minute, Crooked. Wait a minute. I can't let you sit up in here on my set saying stuff that you have said yourself. He knows he's an illegitimate person. What did you mean when you had said that? What do you mean did you question the legitimacy of his presidency? And what else?
But she refused to rule out the possibility of contesting the results. That is, if Russian collusion is proven by special counsel.
You mean the Russian collusion that she was responsible for? I won't rule out contesting the election if Robert Mueller somehow proves that all of my lies, all of the money that we paid, all of the collusion with the deep state, that knowing that Trump is not a real Russian agent, but she's pretending like I'm just waiting for the results to come out. Because if they buy this lie, if they're able to somehow concoction this to make it look like Trump is really legitimately guilty, then I'm going to contest it. Knowing that she was behind it the whole time. What type of evil is this? This is a special type of evil, man. Boy, she comes straight out of the pit of Hades. But hey, that's what Democrats are about. So now, wait a minute. Sound like she is a threat to our democracy.
Bob Mueller.
Wow, now look at that. Now guys, look at this. Talk about won't accept election results, you say. Well, we better get to the bottom of this. Here we go. Look at this.
Now I'd like to speak directly to those who have fought factually, respectfully, and relentlessly.
Where's this?
For the truth over the last 3 years.
Wait a minute now. Hold up. Wait a minute. This is down in Georgia where Trump lost. You mean the same Georgia where Fat Fanny is trying to lock Trump up for Rico charges and stuff? You mean that Georgia? You mean the same Georgia where we saw those people spending the night inside of that voting location, bringing out boxes and swiping all night on camera? That Georgia? So wait, we've been here now for 3 years that we're all conspiracy theorists. We're election deniers. Trump lost the election. Okay. All the courts have looked into it and concluded everything was legit. All of this stuff. Trump wanted to find ballots and stuff. He called up hey, look, find me some illegal ballots. We've been hearing this for 3 years, man. And now they done did a real investigation. And what did we find out?
As of 4/10/24, I got another one of these certified letters from the state election board. Every time I get one of those letters, my wife sets it on my desk and she says, you got another one of those certified letters. I hope you're not being indicted this time.
Yeah, because you might be.
But anyways, as of that letter, it has now been factually proven that both the hand audit, this is really, really important.
The hand audit?
And the certified machine count.
And the machine?
Yes, the certified count.
The certified count.
Have both been found to be in violation of Georgia election law. Based on these findings, to those that have fought...
Based on those findings, what you're telling me is Trump was right. So right about now, Trump should be the president. That's what you're telling me? Right about now, Fannie should withdraw all of these fake charges. Because remember, all this is based on them saying Trump wouldn't accept the results of the election and he tried to overthrow the election by find and vote. All of that garbage. Now, the results are in that. I'm just wondering, why isn't this being spread all over? Why are we still hearing folks on cable news talk about Trump still denies the election and everything was legit and there's no proof of widespread voter fraud? Why aren't they blasting this going, look, we got the proof? Republicans should grab these results and be all over the place and say all of these bootleg accusations of Trump denying the election and he didn't really believe he lost. He's just making this up because he can't take a loss. He's been validated, and guess who else been validated? Us.
Fought factually, respectfully, and relentlessly. I'll close with one word.
What?
Vindicated.
Bam!
Does the investigation confirm that there are missing ballot images?
What's this?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Who? What else? What else? Tell me
Do
more.
you know why 380,761 ballot images from Election Day machine count are not available?
Yeah, because the Democrats cheated. I can tell you that. Yeah, why aren't they available?
We subpoenaed Fulton County for all of their ballot images.
Fulton County? Isn't that the county Fat Fanny is over? Boy, I'm loving this. I'm having me a gloat party in Kevin's Corner, y'all. Everybody's invited. Everybody's invited except the liberals, because then you would become the subject of our taunting. That's what you would be. Somebody bring Fat Fanny in for us to taunt.
We received approximately 518,000 ballot images.
From Election Day?
Those are for the recount.
Those are from the recount, but we have no ballot images.
No ballot images?
For 380,761 ballots.
That's a lot of ballots. That would be enough for Trump to win Georgia. That means Trump should be in the White House right now. Why is Crooked still running around talking about our elections are going to be, see, that's why they're worried. Because they know that Trump knows these elections were bogus. And they know we know these elections, though that election was bogus. They know. And they're trying to do it again. We're about to find out. But look at this information. I wonder why they're not talking. We should be hearing this all over the place. It should be breaking news. Trump was right. He should have won Georgia based on these new findings.
From Election Day, correct?
What was subpoenaed was the ballot images for the recount, because that's what this case was about, not the election day.
Yeah.
Does Fulton County know why there are not 380,761 ballot images from Election Day?
Yeah, does it? Do they know that? I want to hear the excuse.
As with the investigators, we have not been apprised of this allegation. This is the first time hearing about it. I have no
First time
idea
hearing about it.
what the basis of that allegation is, and so we would have to. We can't answer that at this time.
Now I don't know about y'all, but I smell a rat, a big fat rat.
But the report, the allegation is from Mr. Rossi that 3,125 duplicate ballots were counted. I'm not talking about the ICC 14 scanner that ballots were misnamed and reloaded on it. I'm talking about 3,125 duplicate ballots that were counted.
Raggedy elections down there in Fulton County under Fat Fanny. Raggedy. But they want us to trust the integrity of our elections. Yeah, see, so all of these cases that Trump wanted to bring about stuff like this, that all those courts, for whatever reason, didn't want to even hear, that the media is lying and saying all these courts looked at it and they found nothing wrong. See, they want y'all to believe that the courts looked at this, like it went to trial or, we had some hearing. No, they was just like, no, I only want to hear la, 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 la. I don't want to get involved. But now somebody that got involved, and look what we're finding.
And again, as we concluded, and it's in the report, we did partially substantiate that we believe that there are duplicate ballot images. Whether or not those were actually included in the tabulated results is inconclusive.
But whether you're in a blue state or a red state, everyone's concerned. And due to the wide open border that the Biden administration has refused to close, in fact, that they engineered to open. We now have so many non-citizens in the country that if only 1 out of 100 of those voted, they would cast hundreds of thousands of votes. Wow. And since our elections are so razor thin in these days that we're in, and just a few precincts in a few states decide the makeup of Congress and who is elected to the White House, this is a dangerously high number, and it is a great concern to millions and millions of Americans.
Yes.
It could obviously change the outcome of our elections.
And
this
that
is not
right there,
an empty threat or concern.
That right there is a threat to our democracy. Now, who runs raggedy elections? Democrats. Who don't want signatures to be required? Democrats. Who want all of these illegal immigrants to be counted in the census? Democrats. Who votes against anything that can secure, 1, our border, and 2, our election process? Democrats. Sounds like they're the threat to what? Democracy. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like they're not doing anything and supporting anything that would make Americans feel secure about our democracy. Every policy that they support and every action that they take weakens the belief in our republic. So now, guys, here's what we have to do to prepare. Now I'm concerned, guys. I want to know, are we prepared for voter fraud? Here is a lawyer from Trump on the Benny Johnson show. And look what she says. And I'm like, that doesn't make me feel comfortable right about now. Maybe they need to bring me in for some ideas about how to stop this mess. Look what these Democrats are up to, y'all. And what we got to try to stop.
Their leaders are. And I know there's a lot of concerns about illegals registering to vote and cleaning up the voter rolls and a lot of the concerns with election integrity. If you have concerns about it, the way you help alleviate those concerns is to get involved.
So that you just bring up something I have to ask a follow-up question on. Criminal illegals voting in the election, that is something that is obviously deep concern. And many people were saying that was the play in the first place with the open border. How do you counteract that? And are you focused on that at the RNC?
Good question, Benny. See, I hear what she's saying. We got to get involved and all that stuff. And I'm saying, but man, the damage has been done. And most of these states have raggedy voter laws or policies that would make it very difficult to deal with that, as we're about to find out. Because Benny is probing, and I'm saying, that's a good point, Benny. And this really made me concerned, as you hear what she says could happen. And I'm saying, oh, okay, we got to do something about this.
100%. That's one of our biggest focuses, actually. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie. It's a very challenging issue because you want to make sure that you're protecting people who have the lawful right to vote. And you don't want to be disenfranchising anybody. But yeah, it's very concerning to see massive groups of people flooding across the border and then I'm sure you've seen a lot of the undercover reporting coming out and information coming out saying that these groups are then registering these people to vote in all 50 states in the states that they show up in. So
all 50 states. So now that's the number one problem. I mean, that's the first problem. So we got agencies that are assisting these people and registering them to vote. That's the first problem. Who's doing anything about that? Now, here's the point. Trump, when he get in, he's going to deport all of these people. Hopefully he can get them all. But the problem is getting him in. And now we got all the folks in to stop him from getting in. Now, you don't think that would give all 11 million of these folks that's here in the country incentive to go and vote for Joe Biden? They're sitting back going, the guy who is running against him has sworn that once he gets in, he's sending us all back home. And then Joe Biden got, the Biden administration has all these people down there going, okay, you're here in America. We're going to go ahead and get you signed up. We show you how to vote. You want to stay here, don't you? You want to stay here. So now we got that going on. That's one issue. Let's continue.
It's very concerning. It's like peeing in a swimming pool. How do you undo it? So what I would say is we need people involved at the county level, working for the counties, the people who manage voter rolls and are responsible at the counties for ensuring that law.
None of that addresses it. I'm sorry. None of that addresses what we just heard. Counting voter rolls and all that stuff, that's not solving this 12 million folks wandering around that possibly can be registered to vote and you don't even have to prove that you're an American. That's not solving that.
Lawful votes are cast. When the mail-in ballots come in, we need to have people there making sure, following the law to make sure that those votes that are coming in are lawful votes. And
how do you know that? Following the law. I mean, the Democrats, man, they've been working on this now. They knew this day was coming. They knew Joe is not going to be able to beat Trump heads up. So now they got some workarounds. As you hear this lady, I want you to finish hearing this, guys. They got some real tough things that we have to work around or stop or be aware of. And right now, she's not giving me what I need to hear.
Only lawful votes are counted. So it comes down to eyeballs. How many eyeballs can we get on in the basically the chain of custody where we legally can have everybody? We need people involved because, yes, I genuinely believe this is their plan for 2024. And the way we stop it is by having as many people as possible in the chain of custody for the documents to make sure that it's the lawful votes that are counted.
Okay, now I want to give you an example of why I say that really won't make a difference. If the people in power right now set up a system where it makes these people lawfully be able to do something, it don't matter how many eyes see them. It's like going down to the border right now and watching all of these illegal immigrants come straight into the Border Patrol and say, I'm here for my asylum. And then the Biden administration says, okay, you're an asylum seeker, when we know that they're really illegal immigrants. But because the Biden administration has set up a system to make it not look lawful, all we can do is watch. We might know that these people are illegal immigrants, but based on them changing and manipulating terms and setting up this and that and policies, all we can do is watch and go, man, I know these are all illegal immigrants. But they done set it up to where they say, no, they're just undocumented citizens and they're asylum seekers. So now it kind of makes them appear to be lawful, even though we know they're unlawful. So now what she's describing is making me say, more eyes? Is that really going to do it? I mean, maybe that might help with dead people or folks that done moved to other states or folks without no signatures and things like that. That's cool. But I'm talking about 12 million potential voters that might be registered or can just come in and say, I want to register to vote. And you're going, oh boy, if I ask this person, can you show me ID that you're an American citizen? No.
So you genuinely believe that the plan is to have the 10 million plus illegals that have come into this country illegally vote in the election, register them to vote, and that will push Joe Biden over the line in a close election.
I think that's certainly part of their strategy. I think it's a big part of their strategy, and I think they care less about the illegals actually voting and care more about the registration.
Now y'all hear that? That's big problem number 2. They care more about registering them than them themselves going down to vote. Now why? Why would they do that? It's more important for them to register these people so that they can ballot harvest. There you go. Y'all don't now y'all don't need to go down there and show up to vote. We got it. So we'll register you, and don't worry, if we don't run across you again, we'll fill out a ballot for you. Oh, you need an address? We got that covered too. Y'all ready for this? They got that covered too. Listen to this.
We've seen that they have a very robust, whether you want to call it ballot harvesting or ballot trafficking, depending on whether it's legal or not. We're seeing that these nonprofit organizations are stepping up to justify the residency. They are saying, yes, these illegal immigrants are staying with us, their residence is with us. So when the mail-in ballots go out, they're just getting mailed to these nonprofits.
Now, did you hear that? Obstacle number 3. So let me get it straight. First things first, we will show you how to get registered to vote. We'll do that. Number 2, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we do a little ballot harvesting, because don't worry about it. Yeah, as long as you get sent a ballot, but you need an address. You need an address. All right, all of you that we register and bring in, you all live with us. We'll write our address down so that all of these ballots will get sent right to us. Now, you see the problem? I mean, Democrats, man, that this is a problem. And I'm thinking, okay, how are we going to stop this?
Because supposedly that's where these immigrants are living. So yeah, I definitely think that's part of their plan. Whether what else they're going to do, I have, God only knows. But that's certainly a large part of it. Yeah.
But you're illegal. You're illegal. You don't have a social security number.
Oh, Benny, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, Benny. But listen to this.
Nobody knows where you're
Illegals
from.
Can get social security numbers. They can actually.
How in the world? See the problem stacking up, and I'm going, okay, now. How are we going to combat this? We got potential social security numbers. It could be fake names, but nonetheless, registered voters, because they are doing that, they got an address, and then the ballots are being sent to these agencies. And what do you think they're going to do with those ballots? Long as we got an address, long as we got a signature, I'm concerned.
So this is the play then.
It's a large part of it. I don't know that I wouldn't say it's the only play, but it's certainly a part of it. Yeah. I'm not trying to scare anybody. We can combat this. Please don't misunderstand.
I need to know how. I need to know how.
We're preparing for it, but we need the American people's help. We need people to get involved, to have eyes on, to make sure that it's legal voters.
Now, when she was telling Benny this, and I was watching this earlier, as she was saying this, I was thinking exactly what Benny is about to say. I was going, that sounds good and all, more people, more eyes, but...
and legal votes that are cast, and that our votes are not being diluted by this invasion across our southern border.
I just don't know how an election monitor looks at somebody with a social security number who came here illegally, who has a ballot. Like, I don't know how they stop somebody who is unlawful to vote, but yet the system has allowed them to vote. Like, I don't know how that's stopped, right?
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going, yeah, I might register to go down there, but if about 2,000 illegal immigrants come in there and they got paperwork, they got ballots, I couldn't check to make sure they are American citizens, because apparently you can't do that. And I'm like, what kind of system is that? That you don't have to prove you're an American citizen to vote? Or what type of system that you can go register to vote with no ID or nothing? And yet, who's tolerating these agencies that is registering and helping these folks sign up to vote? No feds infiltrating them. They know it's illegal for illegals to vote in our election. So why would you allow a nonprofit organization help these people commit a crime? So now, when it gets to your door at the voting booth, you're going, it done made it through all of those. Now I'm sitting there looking at a dude with a legitimate, I guess, ballot, and here I am, I'm here to vote, and I'm going, I might have a gut feeling that you're not from the country, but what can I say? See, these are things I'm concerned about, and we need to figure it out real quick, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on each state and the voting procedures for each state. You're not allowed, again, we're not allowed to ask the voters their citizenship, which certainly plays into allowing illegals to register. So there's a lot of challenges to it, but it's not insurmountable.
Hey, I need more assurances than that. I mean, I really think, though, that the beating that Joe's going to take is going to be severe. They're going to have to pull some real serious shenanigans, even with all of this crap that they're trying to do. But these things that she hit me to concern me. Because, see, I always think like, okay, how do you combat that? Like, I mean, even if we have folks sitting there 24/7 making sure they don't spend a night. Yeah, you could catch them not spending a night, but how can you catch them when it comes down to them bringing in a whole bunch of ballots that looks legit? They got addresses, they've been registered to vote. How can you do that? Or even if these folks come in and vote in person, and you're just a ballot, you're just a poll worker. You're going, man, I can't question this dude. I can't interrogate him. All I got to do is say, okay, well, here's your ballot. Go ahead and punch your thing in. Hopefully you're an American citizen. Our system is jacked up, man. And so when we hear the Democrats talking about Trump's going to change up all our voting process, darn right. If we could get him in, all of these things she just described needs to be addressed immediately. One, get all of these folks and get them out of here. Two, investigate all of these nonprofit organizations who are doing nothing but human trafficking and recruiting for the Democrat Party. Investigate their butts and say, wait a minute. You guys are helping these people break the law by breaking the law. Throw their butts in the slammer. Figure out, all of these little systems they got, plug those leaks. We got to win the House, we got to win the Senate, and we got to make sure we put voting laws in place to where you got to show you're an American citizen. No more of that, well, I guess it's racist if I ask them if they're an American citizen. I don't care if you come in speaking pure English, no accent, and you are white as snow. You still need to prove that you are an American citizen. So it ain't even about, oh, well, this guy's Latino, so he might be an illegal immigrant. I'm talking about everybody must prove they're legit when they vote, or else our democracy is at risk. And guess who wants this raggedy system in place? Democrats. And they're up here talking about our democracy. So we're going to end with Stephen Miller. That's what we're going to do. Unleash him. Because he got something to say about our democracy and who's really attacking it.
Democracy in America is under attack.
Oh, it is.
It's a multifaceted attack being waged by Joe Biden and Democrats in Congress.
Yes.
We see that attack in the form of censorship, of conservative speech, the weaponization of law enforcement against peaceful American citizens for having conservative or Christian beliefs. And we see it in the lawfare against President Trump in New York City, in Georgia, in D.C., and in many other places all across this country.
Well, make it plain, Stephen. Well. Give it to him, Steve. Don't hold back. Point out who's the real threat to our democracy, because we heard all of these fake folks say it's Trump and us.
Where the power of the state is being used to crush political dissent. But there's one more form of radical attack on democracy.
What is this, Steve?
And that is the combination of a wide open border and obstruction of any effort to verify the citizenship of who votes in our elections.
Give it to him.
These things are all combined in effort to end our Republican form of government. When you have no border, when you have millions of unvetted foreigners from over 150 countries pouring into this nation.
150. Stephen right now is dropping nothing but elbows on these fake behind narratives that Trump is the threat to our democracy. He just went down a list of things that all of us have been seeing and saying, that's the real threat to democracy. He sees it. Yeah. And now he's pointing out one of the biggest, which they're always talking about. Trump's going to change up our voting, elections and stuff. We may never have another free and fair election for Democrats to win ever again. That's what they're really saying.
With no way, no legal ability, let alone a legal requirement to verify that they are citizens. You are inviting grand foreign interference in our elections on an unprecedented scale for the sole purpose of helping Joe Biden and the Democrat Party.
Stephen!
When this bill comes to a vote, it will be the most important vote that most members of Congress take in their entire careers. If Hakeem Jeffries and his Democrat members...
You mean that fake dude? The one that got Nasty Pelosi's monkey paw up his butt, controlling his mouth? That fake dude, that Muppet? That guy? Do you think this bill right here, that every politician should say, yes, we need to secure our elections? You think those Democrats are going to go and vote yes for this? Anything that will expose their cheating. These guys are cheaters. It's unbelievable how blatantly open that they cheat. It's so obvious too. And people fall for it. So Stephen is calling it out. They brought the right guy in to speak here as we close.
Try to kill this bill. They will be declaring to the whole country that they want Joe Biden's illegals to vote in this election.
So what you're telling me, Stephen, is this bill will expose who are really the threat to our democracy. If we put this bill out there that have legitimate procedures people needs to go through to show that they're legit and make us feel secure about our elections, reasonable voting policies and procedures that every American should be going, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. And yet, for some reason, all these Democrats go, no, I think we should count illegal immigrants in the census. No, I think that they shouldn't have to show IDs. Why? Why? I mean, what, you just want them to feel included? Or you want them to be included in our voting?
That will be what they are declaring. And every American citizen should pay attention and take note. Yes. Because this will be a dividing line from which there will be no return, no going back, no hiding, no erasing your record. Either you believe in an American nation for American citizens or you don't. That is what this vote will show. And I encourage every single reporter here today to treat this with the gravity and gravitas it deserves and it necessitates. Because if this bill does not become law, then Joe Biden and Democrats will have engineered one of the greatest interferences in any democratic nation in the history of the world. Thank you.
And now we know who's the real threat to democracy. Thank you, Stephen Miller, for giving them a big fat uppercut. Now, is the chat still working? Somebody, yeah, there we go. It's still working. So, yep, y'all hear that? So we'll see if this bill passes, but we already know. I mean, if the Democrats wouldn't even hear a impeachment trial for mucus, you think they're going to pass this bill? This is what they've been working hard for. They've been working hard to set up a system that will destroy our democracy. And yet they're projecting it on Trump and everybody on the right, while yet their policies and decisions all represent a group of people or a government that is undermining democracy. All of this with their mouth. Don't listen to that. Look what they're doing. Look how they're voting. Look what they support. That's what shows who is the real threat to our democracy. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Stephen Miller dropped it, man. He's like, yeah. So we're going to see. And I can't wait to see all of these Democrats come out there and say, well, we're not going to sign on to this bill, and because it's racist and it disenfranchised folks, and it's, that's what they're going to do. We already know. When in doubt, to cover up our raggedy evil scheme, use racism, sexism, xenophobia, or whatever else. But we know what the truth is. These folks are cheaters, liars, and evil. Now, put that in their pipe and smoke it. I hope they all put that in their pipe and smoke it. So thanks for kicking it with me tonight. I still wasn't able to read y'all chats in front of me. I got to keep looking over there. Make sure y'all still with me. I don't know what's going on here. Sometime the chat shows, well, I guess, I don't know what happened to it. Who knows? But anyway, I can still see it over there, so it's cool. Now, please make sure you hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. I should be back tomorrow night. Don't forget, text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And follow me on all the other, I said that. Make sure that you subscribe to my alternative channel, which I'm watching the show from over there. And if you want to support the channel, you can always check out Kevin's Corner Store. And you can also give to my Cash App and my PayPal. And I greatly would appreciate it. Now let's get ready to, I got a visitor. He heard my wrap-up line, y'all. He heard it. Yeah, you heard the wrap-up line, didn't you, Gizmo? You know exactly when my show ends. Yeah, you're clever. You pay attention to everything, don't you, Gizmo? Just like all of these corrupt, evil Democrats. Yeah, that's why we always catch them. Because you got that nose. You got that nose to sniff out corruption. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. See y'all tomorrow at Kevin's Corner. Let's go.
This is awesome.
Yeah. See y'all next time at Kevin's Corner. Take care.